Today, I'm going to be comparing two very new and very popular LEGO Star Wars Battle Packs, both based off of Season 7 of the Clone Wars, at least judging from their box art. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. So, first of all, let's get into the 501st Specialist Battle Packs box art. So as you can see, we have obviously the Clone Troopers, the minifigure selection there, and in the box art, we have the city of Urbana, which I think is very nice as it ties into the Clone Wars, and we have that yellow stripe symbolizing what kind of set this is. And then on the back, we obviously get some more details about the build. It can move up and down, and it can shoot spring-loaded shooter there, and that's pretty much it for the box art of the 501st Specialist Battle Pack. And then moving over to the 332nd Ahsoka's Clone Trooper Battle Pack, we have a Swamp Speeder, and it is based off of Mandalore, the Battle of Mandalore, and we have a nice Mandalore box art. I think this is one of the very few LEGO Star Wars sets that actually feature Mandalore and are based off of Mandalore. And then obviously we have our figure selection, the same yellow stripe. And in the back, we have a better look at Mandalore, as well as some play features, like with that small little turret build that we'll get into in just a moment. So, starting off with the builds, first up, the 501st Specialist Battle Pack. Here we have a very nice AV7 cannon, which definitely switches things up a bit from the classic, Bark Speeder and ATRT builds that are usually included in Clone Trooper Battle Packs. And you can see your heavy Clone Trooper can man this AV7 cannon, and it can load spring-loaded shooters for kids to enjoy and have fun with, and they can, blast their droids. It can also move up and down, so you can aim wherever you'd like with this AV7 cannon. Unfortunately, it's not 360 or anything, but neither are the in-universe AV7 cannons. But I think for the size of this build, it is a very nice build, and it is an interesting idea for a battle pack build, I'd say. And it has been executed much better than AV7 cannon builds for battle packs in the past. And then getting into the build of the 332nd Battle Pack, we obviously have a 501st themed Swamp Speeder with some very nice stud shooters in the front that don't make the build look too awful, in my opinion. And then getting a closer look at the build, you can see there's actually a clip on either side for the weapons, so whatever characters you have sitting down in the Swamp Speeder, their weapons can go right there. Unfortunately, the AV7 cannon does not have a place to put your heavy blaster for your 501st Heavy Trooper, so it'll just awkwardly be laying on the table wherever the kid is playing, and I don't think that's great for a kid per se. So I think the build for the 332nd Battle Pack wins out just because it has a play feature just like the AV7 cannon, but it does have that weapon clip on either side, which I think does make it ever so slightly better. Not to mention, we also have this very small turret build. A lot of people saw this as a pointless inclusion, and it's just LEGO trying to get that piece count up. But then again, I think this would be nice for a kid, because then you can have another one of your 332nd clones manning a larger gun that you can fire off. You can't really fire off those blasters. So I think this is kind of LEGO substitution. Instead of giving them stud shooter blasters, they give us, some extra play features with stud shooters. So battle packs are still great for kids, but it does not ruin the look of the blasters by any way, shape, or form. Now, getting into the minifigures of these amazing battle packs, first, let's start with the 501st Specialist Battle Pack, where a lot of the talking point for this set was actually that new macro binocular piece and somewhat the blue visor pieces for the helmets, and a lot of people were very happy that LEGO is branching out yet again to Battlefront 2, but this time we get some Clone Troopers in a Battlefront Battle Pack. So, here we have the 501st Specialist, aka Sniper, with that new macro binocular. I think this is a 10 out of 10 figure. Great choice to include this, and those blue arms are a nice touch. Next up, we have the 501st Officer, which a lot of people have been disappointed because there's obviously a printed comma instead of a cloth waist cape at the legs there. So many people are disappointed in that aspect, but I think this is a fine figure for what it is. And then next up, we have the Heavy Clone Trooper with a very nice brick-built backpack, which I am definitely a fan of. I think LEGO did a pretty dang good job bringing this figure into LEGO form. I do think that having blue arms on all of these figures would have looked much better because these are 501st Specialists and would stand out in a 501st Army next to all the white arms. However, I do understand LEGO usually doesn't give blue arms to every figure in a set, or colored arms to every clone trooper in a set, so that makes sense. So as far as the 501st Specialist Battle Pack goes, I think we have a 9 out of 10 figure selection. Personally, I would have rather had another regular 501st clone trooper rather than 2 heavy clone troopers. I think that would have gone a long way in this set. Anyway, let's get into the 332nd Battle Pack. So, first up, we have a surprising inclusion, Captain Von. Now, despite some hype around this figure, it is not the best set to include a named figure in. It is a Battle Pack after all, and honestly, I would have been fine with them including a Captain Von, but they did a pretty bad job on this figure in my opinion. They are lacking some crucial detailing on the torso and probably the legs. I haven't really cross-referenced an image of Von very much. If you take a look at this custom Captain Von, you can see what this LEGO Captain Von was missing. Now, I don't expect LEGO to make a visor that detailed, but at least put it in the correct color like the Clone Army Customs visor is in. Now, I think that LEGO easily could have included blue arms to make this figure seem like a named figure, like they do with every other named clone trooper. They did it with the 501st Specialist, which is not a named character, so I don't really understand what LEGO's reasoning behind that is. However, another thing that a lot of people think is missing is the correct detailing on the helmet. The helmet is the exact same as every other 332nd clone helmet, even though in-universe it is a little bit different with some different symbols and imagery on the helmet there. And much like the Commander Cody from 2022, we have a printed jetpack on the back. I think this is a fine figure if you don't really care about accuracy too much, but then again, should not have been included in a battle pack. Next up, we have the standard 332nd Clone Trooper, which I think looks good enough, except, those helmet holes aren't a great thing. They're okay for customization, and I can see how kids would love customization, but personally, I would love if non-named characters don't have helmet holes in Clone Trooper sets. This is a shared opinion a lot of people have in the community, and I don't want to make this video all about helmet holes, but it is worth noting, not a fan of them. However, I do still recognize, I'm not going to bring this set down for having helmet holes when they're not used. And then here we have regular 332nd Clone Troopers, except they have jetpacks, which I think this is really nice. It brings back some nostalgia of that original Corporate Alliance tank droid from the Clone Wars with those 2 Clone Troopers that had jetpacks. They're regular Clone Troopers, right? But they have jetpacks, which just, I think it adds that cool factor that a set like this really, really needs. And I think it was great to have jetpacks in this set. But now, the dying question. Which one is more worth your hard-earned money? And I think, honestly speaking here, it is going to go to the 501st Specialist Battle Pack. I think just the fact that you get all these extra accessories that, usually you wouldn't get in a battle pack, especially the new macro binocular piece. I'm a huge fan of that. And it is worth noting that both these sets retail for $20 in the US. However, be careful because some Walmarts or Targets or other LEGO retailers that aren't LEGO themselves may have this set listed for $27, as that was the original planned price by LEGO. But do not buy it for $27, only buy it for $20 or below. Please do not, get an overpriced battle pack. Anyway, I think as far as the figure selection for what's more worth your money, it goes to the 501st Specialist Battle Pack because the 10-part difference between the set's piece counts, with the 501st Specialist Battle Pack having about 10 more parts than the 332nd Battle Pack. I don't really think that matters for battle packs. I think as long as the builds look decently, good, everything's great. But as far as value, I think you're really getting your value with a brand new exclusive macro binocular mold, as well as, 4 completely new figures. These 332nd are kind of just reiterations of a figure we saw in 2020, except, in my opinion, they look a little bit worse with those helmet holes. Now, another important question is, which set is better for play, and which set do you think kids would have more fun with? Well, I asked my 8-year-old brother which set he would rather have. Would he rather have the 332nd Battle Pack or the 501st Specialist Battle Pack? And I also asked him which set would be more fun to play with, and he went with the 332nd Battle Pack, and I would be inclined to agree. I think with a figure selection that has 3 regular clone troopers, it just is much cooler to build an army of some regular, grunt clone troopers in a 332nd Legion than some specialist clones. I think getting 2 or 3 of these specialist clone trooper battle packs is nice, but a 332nd battle pack is just better in that regard. And my brother also said he likes a swamp speeder more than the AV7 cannon. Now that's up for discretion, but you have to agree the Swamp Speeder is utilized for play and for kids much better than the AV7 cannon, with those clips for the weapons and the 2 stud shooters in the front. So, the important question, which set do I like more? Now, this may be a bit of recency bias, but I think I like the 332nd Battle Pack more. The 501st Specialist Battle Pack really introduced some nice parts and some great minifigures to the collection. I especially love the 501st Specialist Clone Trooper. However, you just cannot beat some 332nd Clone Troopers for a very cheap price, in my opinion. Although that Captain Von, I'm not keeping a single one of those in the collection, most likely, as I have a much better custom version. So unfortunately, don't really care about Von, not a fan of him. But these figures alone, I think, make this a great battle pack, and many people have been taking their Captain Vons and pretending he's an officer, which I think is quite funny that LEGO put, such small amounts of detail into this figure that people can pretend this is a 332nd officer, and it won't get it confused with Captain Von at all. I just think that's kind of hilarious and sad that LEGO, really cheaped out on this figure. So the overall winner, which battle pack I think is better, is going to go to the 332nd battle pack, just because of, various things in that slightly. I think as far as minifigure selection, the 501st Specialist battle pack wins, but that's about all it's got going for it, the value and the minifigure selection. When it comes to 332nd Battle Pack, it wins in every other aspect. The build, the play features, which set a kid would rather have, and also which set is better for army building purposes. Anyway, make sure you tell me in the comments below which set is your favorite, and leave a like if you did enjoy today's comparison video. And if you want more comparison videos, make sure to also tell me in the comments, if you want more comparison videos, and if so, what comparison videos you would like to see. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Have an amazing day. Peace out.